Welcome to the Transitions Daily podcast. Transitions Daily is an online recovery group that offers a daily distribution of popular recovery resources accompanied by a secret Facebook group for discussion. We hope you enjoy today's readings.
This is Transitions Daily for April 24th. I'm Buddy C, and I'm an alcoholic from Atlanta, Georgia. AA thoughts for the day, language of the heart. As we better use the language of the heart, our communications grow apace. Already we find ourselves in a safe passage through all those barriers of distance and language, of social distinctions, nationality, and creed that so divide the world of our time. Language of the Heart, pages 309 and 310. Thought to consider. I am responsible for carrying the message. I am not responsible for anyone receiving the message. AA acronyms. HEART. Healing, enjoying, and recovering together. Just for today. Accountability. From the 3 legacies of Alcoholics Anonymous. It was evident that here was a worldwide movement that had no direct access to its own principal service affairs. The trustees had authority over our services. AA itself had no authority. The simple trusteeship had been the ideal guardian for our infancy and adolescence. But how in future years could it possibly go on functioning as it had? At first, we had talked vaguely about a hand-picked advisory council or an elected conference of some sort. But since there was no imminent danger, no action was taken. Following a long plea for an elected AA conference and other reforms, and after having pointed out that the trustees had all the authority there was, with no responsibility to anyone, even to Dr. Bob and me, I set out on the road in 1948 to sound out among the groups the possibility of an elected conference, to which the Board of Trustees could eventually become accountable. Alcoholics Anonymous Comes of Age, pages 210 and 211. Daily Reflections, Learning to Love Ourselves. Alcoholism was a lonely business, even though we were surrounded by people who loved us. We were trying to find emotional security, either by dominating or by being dependent upon others. We still vainly tried to be secure by some unhealthy sort of domination or dependence. As Bill sees it, page 252. When I did my personal inventory, I found that I had unhealthy relations with most people in my life. My friends and family, for example. I always felt isolated and lonely. I drank to dull emotional pain. It was through staying sober, having a good sponsor, and working the 12 steps that I was able to build up my low self-esteem. First, the 12 steps taught me to become my own best friend, and then, when I was able to love myself, I could reach out and love others. As Bill sees it, no personal power. At first, the remedy for my personal difficulties seemed so obvious that I could not imagine any alcoholic turning the proposition down were it properly presented to him. Believing so firmly that Christ can do anything, I had the unconscious conceit to suppose that he would do everything through me, right then and in the manner I chose. After 6 long months, I had to admit that not a soul had surely laid hold of the Master, not excepting myself. This brought me to the good, healthy realization that there were plenty of situations left in the world over which I had no personal power. That if I was so ready to admit that to be the case with alcohol, so I must make the same admission with respect to much else. I would have to be still and know that he, not I, was God. Letter 1940. Big Book quote. Do not be discouraged if your prospect does not respond at once. Search out another alcoholic and try again. You are sure to find someone desperate enough to accept with eagerness what you offer. We find it a waste of time to keep chasing a man who cannot or will not work with you. If you leave such a person alone, he may soon become convinced that he cannot recover by himself. Alcoholics Anonymous, Working with Others, page 96. 24 hours a day. AA thought for the day. It's been proved that we alcoholics can't get sober by our willpower. We failed again and again. Therefore, I believe there must be a higher power which helps me. I think of that power as the grace of God, and I pray to God every morning for the strength to stay sober that day. I know that power is there because it never fails to help me. Do I believe that AA works through the grace of God? Meditation for the day. Once I am born of the Spirit, that is my life's breath. Within me is the life of life, so that I can never perish. The life that down through the ages has kept God's children through peril, adversity, and sorrow. I must try never to doubt or worry, but follow where the life of the Spirit leads. How often, when little I know it, God goes before me to prepare the way, to soften a heart, or to overrule a resentment. As the life of the Spirit grows, natural wants become less important. Prayer for the day. I pray that my life may become centered in God more than in self. I pray that my will may be directed toward doing His will. Hazelden Foundation, P.O. Box 176, Center City, Minnesota 55012. I'm Buddy, and I'm an alcoholic.
We hope you enjoy today's readings. You can also receive Transitions Daily via email and discuss today's readings in our secret Facebook group. So for more information, go to dailyaaemails.com today.
Other than the 24 hours a day reading, unless otherwise specified, all quotes copyright Alcoholics Anonymous World Services, Inc., 1952 through 2001.